Exploring the unknown, pursuing the truth. Welcome to II Myth Animations channel.
My name is Chan Zaiming. In 1981, I worked as a night security guard at the Windsor building in Hong Kong. The story I'm about to tell isn't something I heard from others. I saw it with my own eyes. You may have heard many legends about fox spirits, but what happened at the Windsor building in Hong Kong is different from all of them, because the victims in this case were real and there was more than one. The foxes on the wall. The story begins with a villa. The villa stood right next to the Windsor building. Its outer walls were covered with all kinds of murals, ghosts, demons, and strange creatures of every sort. No one knew which painter had created them. Every morning, workers would come to wipe the paintings clean and keep them looking fresh. Among those workers was a man named Zhang. He came every day and cleaned the same walls. He knew every single painting by heart. He could describe them with his eyes closed. But one morning, while wiping the wall, Zhang suddenly stopped. He noticed something new on the wall. A group of fox heads. The strangest part was the eyes. Every single fox had deep, pitch-black eyes like two bottomless pits. They were so dark and deep that staring at them for too long felt as if you might be pulled inside. Zhang was startled. He worked there every day. Those fox heads hadn't been there the day before. How could they appear overnight? And each one was painted with extreme detail. No ordinary person could have finished them in a single night. He quickly ran to call his co-workers, but when he brought them back, the wall was completely clean. Nothing was there. The others said he must have been seeing things, that he was under too much pressure lately. Zhang couldn't explain himself. In frustration, he punched the wall. No one knew that after that punch, something terrible would begin. Asterisk the foxes on the stone asterisk asterisk. The next day, a well-known local Taoist priest came to the wall. He said nothing. He simply took out yellow talisman paper and a peachwood sword and began performing a ritual. When he finished, he stuck a yellow paper talisman onto a stone beside the wall. No one understood why he did that. But the matter wasn't over. A few days later, a decorative marble slab inside the Windsor building also appeared with fox head patterns. This time, Zhang wasn't the only one who saw it. There was a whole group of people in the building. On the marble, 7 foxes were clearly imprinted, each one lifelike and vivid. Once the news spread, the entire Windsor building was surrounded by crowds. Citizens lined up in long queues just to come and look. In the end, the building had to close for a day. Security guards covered the marble with a cloth, and only then did the crowd slowly disperse. The secret of the children's clothing section. During that period, strange things kept happening in the Windsor building at night. One morning, a saleswoman arrived at work and found the children's clothing section of the department store completely filled with clothes. She thought someone had simply forgotten to put them away the night before. But the same thing happened for several days in a row. To calm everyone down, the company invited another ritual master. After examining the area, the master said only one sentence: "It's a playful little fox spirit." He claimed that every night the little fox spirit would come, put on children's clothes and shoes, and run around the building playing. Everyone thought the master was joking. A little fox that wears children's clothes. No one took his words seriously. The Full Moon Banquet. One day in 1981, the Windsor Palace Banquet Hall hosted a full moon banquet for a newborn. The child's parents were well-known figures in Hong Kong, so many people came to celebrate. The banquet lasted from noon until evening lively, full of laughter and toasts. But on the very night the banquet ended, the baby's mother had a dream. In the dream, she returned to the Windsor building where the banquet had been held that day. This time, instead of going up to the banquet hall, she was drawn down into the basement. In the basement stood something covered with a red cloth. Curious, she walked over and lifted at the cloth. Underneath was a huge slab of marble carved with 7 foxes. Every fox's eyes were blood red, glowing as if they might start dripping blood. She was terrified and tried to run, but the largest fox leapt straight down from the stone. Its body began to swell, growing larger and larger until it almost touched the ceiling. The mother was pinned to the ground, unable to move. The giant fox lowered its head and spoke to her. "You insignificant humans. Since you refuse to offer wine to the great Fox Immortal, then pay with the lives of your children." The dead infant. The mother woke up screaming. She was drenched in sweat, her heart pounding as if it would burst. She quickly woke her husband beside her and told him the dream. His face changed the moment he heard it. A few days earlier, he himself had gone to look at that fox marble. The strange thing was that his wife had never seen the marblet in her dream. She had recreated it in perfect detail. The couple grew more and more frightened. They threw on their clothes and rushed to the children's room to check on the baby. But it was already too late. The child's face was blue. He was no longer breathing. They frantically carried the baby to the hospital. The doctor said the child had already been dead for several hours. The death certificate listed the cause as sudden death, but according to rumors, when the body was examined, there wasn't a single drop of blood left inside. Even the forensic doctor couldn't explain it. The chain of deaths. That wasn't the end. After the fox marble was discovered, almost every child whose full moon banquet had been held at the Windsor Palace. Banquet hall died within a short time from unexplained causes. And the parents of those children, whether they knew about the fox marble or not, all dreamed of the same giant red-eyed fox. The media began reporting the story frantically. Grieving parents were furious and demanded that the police thoroughly investigate the matter. The banquet hall's management invited a high-ranking master from Taiwan. The monk came to the Windsor building, took away the fox marble, and held a large ritual at the place where the stone had stood. But it was already too late. The children's playground on the top floor. From then on, people in Hong Kong no longer wanted to hold full moon banquets at the Windsor Palace Banquet Hall. Later, a small children's playground was built on the top floor of the Windsor building. It was not open to the public. Only the night security guards knew that place wasn't meant for living children. Because I was one of those guards, every night during my rounds, I could hear the laughter of children coming from the top floor, wave after wave. Sometimes it was the sound of singing, sometimes the sound of running, and sometimes it was crying. Some people say the fox that the master took away didn't die. Instead, it was sent to Yangming Mountain in Taiwan to cultivate with the other foxes there. Others say these foxes couldn't absorb the essence of heaven and earth inside the building, so it began absorbing the vital energy of people instead. There are all kinds of explanations. Of course, many people don't believe any of them, but I do. The old security guards here know that in 1981, several children died in the Windsor building, and I really did hear those children's voices. That's all for today's story. If you also like this kind of real-life paranormal incident, remember to like, follow, and share.